How do you know what emotional eating is and if you do it? Okay, your first question I suppose I need to ask you is, do you eat even when you are not hungry? If that's a yes, is it out of habit, like sitting on the sofa in the evening, watching films or TV, and you must have some kind of snack with you? If that's habit, that's probably quite easy to break. You just give yourself something different to do with your hands while you are watching television. But if you eat when you're not hungry, but you are in need of relaxation, rest, connection, celebration, soothing, if you're angry, sad. If you eat when any of those emotions are coming up, or if you're not even sure how you feel, then there's a good chance that that's emotional eating. Why am I talking about this? Because I used to do this all the time. It wasn't till I did my EFT training 11 years ago, I think it is. It was only when I was doing the training and my teacher said, oh, this is what, do you use food as a soother, as your friend, to relieve boredom, to give you company, to make you feel better? I was like, oh God, I do all of that and more. And then I realised I was an emotional eater. And it was something I'd had in my life for decades. By that point, I was in my early to mid 40s. And I'd been doing emotional eating probably since I was a teenager. And it was such a revelation to me that we use food to soothe ourselves. For that whole time, I just thought I needed to be on a diet, and the fact that I couldn't stick to the diet meant that I was bad or wrong or a failure somehow, that I didn't have enough willpower. And I guess what I want to say to you is, I'll get out of the light. If that's you, if you're feeling like the diet is the thing that you always look to solve the problem, because let's be honest, if you emotionally eat, often, not always, but often, you'll carry extra weight because you're eating more than you actually need. And once you allow yourself to take care of what's actually coming up underneath, then the emotional eating stops naturally. So we don't ever say, stop doing that, do this instead. What we say is, do this and. Because then you'll put new strategies into place, which means your subconscious mind and your emotions will feel nourished in different ways, and your mind will start to go, there's a new strategy. Maybe that would work better. And we update the information so that you're not coming from old programs. So for those of you who are similar age to me, it's like taking the old tape out, the old cassette out, throw that away, put a new cassette in and press play, so that you have new ways of being, new resources, new ways of thinking about things for yourself. Because when you're emotional eating, it's instinctive. This isn't coming from a rational part of your brain. It's a fight, flight kind of freeze response, which is you're in pain, in some form of pain, like emotional, mental. You're suffering. Let's say that. You're suffering, and now so the subconscious mind is going, right, what do we do? Oh yes, that strategy used to work. Let's get her to eat chocolate. Let's get him to eat crisps. Let's do that. That always worked in the past and always made you feel better. And it does momentarily. And I do mean momentarily, because pretty quickly you realise that actually it makes you feel shocking about yourself. And then you have all of the guilt, the shame, the sense of failure, and you feel bloated and uncomfortable in your body. So there's a lot that goes on with that. My approach is completely different. What we will do, so we have live calls. It's a 6-month program. We have live calls twice a month, mostly once every 2 weeks. In that call, we land, we soften, we get back into connection with the breath, with the body. Relax, because just by doing that, you take yourself out of fight or flight, and doing that together as a group really will help you feel like it's like a group energy really makes a difference to how we respond, and we really do allow ourselves to settle, because there's nothing expected of you in these sessions at all. Then once we've done that, we'll come up with, what are we celebrating? What have you done brilliantly this week? What have you done well? What do you feel like, thank God I actually managed to do it? Celebrate that. We'll also look at what you might have been struggling with, and then as a group, whatever themes there are, we're going to do some tapping and coaching around it, and then we'll finish with some lovely healing energy. So this is where what I do is slightly different, because I am an energy healer. So I like to channel energy in to help you navigate these steps, because it also helps me too. Because I'm not above standing in front of a cupboard going, what are you doing here, Claire? And particularly when I was getting ready to launch this program, I found myself in front of the cupboard a lot, and I was like, Claire, you know this isn't what you want. You actually just need a nap. So I'd go and take myself off for a nap or a meditation. So in between those calls, they're on a Monday night, there are replays, so that everything gets uploaded to the hub. And then you'll get your resources. So each month we follow a theme. And basically what we do for the first month is we notice what's going on with the body. We notice the times that we tend to do the emotional eating. We then start to learn and notice the triggers. And sometimes these triggers can be the boss or the children, or it can literally be, I'm knackered, I haven't got a chance to sit down. Especially for mums, this is such a big thing. You're running around like a loon after everybody else. There's no time for you. And so probably going for the sweet thing is the thing that gives you a bit of energy, helps you feel supported, and a bit of a boost so that you can carry on until everyone is sorted out at the end of the day. But you also know it doesn't make you feel better. So month 2, I'm trying to rack my brains now, we start to look at dealing with what comes up. So you are going to be given lots of tools, simple, effective tools that you can use when you're in this situation, because that's the time to do the work. Literally, you'll tap and you'll go, I am feeling, I don't know what I'm feeling, even though I have this feeling in my body. You'll literally do things like that. I will talk you through everything, and you'll have lots and lots of resources all available in the hub. And you'll have like a workbook for each month's theme, just to keep you on track. By the time we get to month 3, we're starting to look at beliefs and stories that have kind of kept us stuck. So for one of mine, for a long time, my internal language was awful. I used to call myself a fat, drunk dwarf. And why drunk? Because I said it one day after I'd had a couple of gins when we had friends over. Fat and short. So the dwarf piece was because I'm so tiny, as in 5'1". And the fat was obvious as far as I was concerned. And I've always been really hard on myself about that. And actually I've got to the point now where I'm starting to really love my body as well. So this is the other piece. It's taken a while to get to that stage, but the internal piece where you start to love and care for yourself happens quite quickly, because you're starting to understand what it is that you need and what's underpinning everything. And that's what our work is for. So we'll look at your stories, we'll look at your belief systems. And then month 5, we start to look at the identity of who you are becoming and the resistances that are in the way to that, because there's always something that's going, it's not safe, I don't like it, I don't want it. So we work with that, whatever comes up. Now, I want to say this really clearly. We don't go mining for lots and lots of things that need solving. We work with what comes up. And you get to keep these resources for as long as I have the program online, okay? So you're going to be able to use these resources for the rest of your life. This isn't just a 6 months done. This is something you're going to keep working with. And, sorry, I've got hay fever and I'm in the middle of a wood. But it's important to remember that this isn't a sudden thing that you'll get sorted. I mean, honestly, it's taken me years and years, but I can see where I went wrong. The identity piece is massive in this, okay? So is fulfillment. What do you want your life to look like? What is it you're actually needing more of in your life? And what are you perhaps needing less of? So there'll be some adjustments to make, but usually you're adding good stuff in. And that makes such a difference because we're working with your mind, we're working with your heart, we're working with your body, we're working with your soul. And when all of that is nurtured, you become this radiant version of you and your life feels thriving. There is no hold with food anymore because you don't need the food anymore. The food is just food, and some of it's really yummy and you enjoy it because we're not going to take anything away from you. And some of it you won't want to touch again, and that's okay. So this is my Beyond Emotional Eating program. We start on the 10th of August. Don't worry if you're on holiday, you can catch the replay because ultimately this will go on until the beginning of February, and I don't think I'm going to run another cohort until after then. So if you really want to make a difference to you in this year of 2026, then please sign up, come and join us. All the information can be found on the link that I'm going to either post in my bio or link into the bottom of this video, depending on what platform you see it from. All I can say is, this, honestly, is the course I wish I'd had when I was 30, 35, instead of which it's 20 years later, 20 plus years later in some instances, and I would have bitten your hand off if you'd offered me this course then. That's all I can say. This work has been life-changing for me, and I absolutely hope and intend that it's life-changing for you. Start to feel your feelings, come into connection with yourself, find peace within yourself, find joy and happiness in your life, connect to all of that, and let go of food. I promise you it is possible. I promise you.